Well, hello, it is full on time for the grilling season. And what do we love about grilling season? We love getting outside, we love putting something on the grill, enjoying the wonderful aromas, getting that good char-broiled flavor on something good. So today it's a Southwest chicken, a Southwest barbecue chicken. Now, it's not gonna be a typical barbecue sauce. One, those just drip off, they burn. No, this is Southwest infused spices, and we're gonna make a dry brine or a dry rub out of them. So they're really gonna infuse flavor and season the chicken with salt and spices, and it's just gonna be a delicious way to do it. So to start, we're gonna make our dry brine. Now, if you've followed me, you know that I use dry brines for my turkey all the time. At Thanksgiving or into the holiday season, I love to use a dry brine, which is really just a salt solution with no water, no liquid, that you rub over the meat, and the salt really soaks in, releases some of the natural juices, works with them, goes back, it just works together so well. So I have my salt in there, and then I'm gonna take some Mexican oregano. Now, that is slightly different than traditional oregano, Italian oregano, and I love the flavor it can lend. So I kind of push it between my hands like that, which helps it just kind of release and crush and maybe release some more of its beautiful oils. So then we're gonna put in some chipotle powder. Now, to me, I love chipotle powder. It kind of is reminiscent of chipotle and adobo, which is that wonderful can of smoked jalapeños that then have an adobo sauce with them, but it's in dry form, so it works really well with these. I'm gonna add in, of course, some cumin. You know, we're just really getting that like Southwest kick in this, and that's what I love. I'm gonna add in some dried garlic. It's not garlic salt, just dried garlic. And why I'm using dried here, again, it works with everything we're doing. It works with the spice blend, doesn't add a liquid. Now, this part's kind of weird. If you've seen me do my dry brine before, I put some baking soda in it. So what baking soda does is, you don't notice it, but it really helps crispen the skin and add a beautiful kind of like golden hue to it. So it really just helps that factor of that like shattery, crispy skin that you want. Believe me, it makes a huge difference. So the final component that we're gonna put in with all that mixture is some lime zest. Now, as opposed to the juice, the lime zest just has some more of the essential oils, but not way too much liquid. So instead we're just adding in just that zest so it really gets that hit of kind of some lime flavor. So it's kind of like that chili lime take on a seasoning, which I think anything that can add a bright component that adds like a pop of something and just kind of wakes up everything that you're tasting, smelling, enjoying, that's what you want, because it really just like sits on your tongue and kind of makes everything else wake up. So I'm taking that zest, I'm gonna just hit it right into all those spices. And then what's great, all the abrasiveness of the salt and the spice is gonna help release from that oils that are in the lime zest. So we're just mixing those together. It's pretty simple, honestly. And guys, if you could be here, that smells amazing. You're gonna wanna put this on everything. You could do chicken breast, chicken cutlet. I mean, you could really do anything with this because it just smells so good. Shrimp. New idea, shrimp would be good with that. So here's the chicken. Now, meat, it isn't beautiful. If you don't eat meat, I get it, but you have to get through this to have the beautiful end result of a barbecue chicken. So here I have my chicken, and usually they serve kind of anywhere from 4 to 6 people, depending on the size you get. So I like to first look at the back, and I always spatchcock mine, because it's gonna grill faster, but also grill more evenly, infuse with the spices better. So we look at our backbone right down the center, and I'm gonna cut on either side of it. We wanna take a sharp knife. It's usually not that hard, honestly. It sounds kind of scary, but it really isn't. So you're gonna go down one side and then down the other. So when you take the backbone out, you really are just gonna make it so it opens up and it's gonna be more flat. Save the backbone if you make stocks, broth, whatever it is, it will help flavor it. So now what we do is we take our chicken, we open it up, push down on the breastbone, kind of break it a little bit, flatten it out, and look at that beauty. It's just perfect because it kind of puts it all in an even layer. It's gonna do so much better. So now what I'm gonna do is, and I do this with my turkeys too at Thanksgiving, is I'm gonna work my hands, my fingers, in between the skin and the meat. What this is gonna do is help me be able to put my spice mixture down in there, which really will get it close to the actual meat, which is what you wanna season. So you don't wanna tear the skin. If you do tear a little bit, it's okay, but if you can, try not to. And I'm gonna work it in all around, and I'm even going to work up into the leg and the thigh if I can, which can be hard, but if you can get the spice then all over. So I'm gonna keep doing this, I'm gonna wash my hand, and we're gonna put the spice rub on. I have as much of the skin separated as I can, so now I'm gonna take my spice rub, and we're just gonna put it all over. We're gonna work it down in between that skin and the meat, We're gonna rub it in. It's, so the difference, when you brine something the traditional way, you're gonna put salt in water, maybe with some aromatics or some flavorings, and then you just let it sit in that water. Well, one, you have to have a vat of water, have to put the whole thing in there. Two, it doesn't really end up seasoning it near as well. This, you're actually making that contact directly with the meat. And I know at first for some of you, the salt's gonna seem like that much salt. Meat needs salt. And if you're cooking and eating at home, you're gonna eat less salt, much less than if you're eating out or eating processed, pre-done foods. So you don't need to quite fear about the salt because you're getting already less if you're gonna eat all your meals at home. So, I know, not all of your meals. Honestly though, I actually almost do. But I don't expect you to do that. So I'm rubbing it all over as I can, getting it, way out into those thighs. As you do this, that smell, you're gonna get excited because it's so good. So I'm gonna put some on the skin, obviously, because even though that salt won't work down through the meat as much when it's on the skin, it does flavor here. So we're gonna put it here and we're even gonna put it underneath, which, guys, I know. Meat, it's not the most appealing thing when it's raw. Or to me, it's just not appealing, period. But you gotta get through this, and look how beautiful that is. So I'm gonna put it on a pan, I'm gonna press it out, and I'm gonna wash my hands. I always have soapy water sitting in my sink anytime I'm working with meat, because that way I can just go wash them easily, don't have to touch things. So I'm gonna cover it with plastic wrap. We're gonna put it in the fridge. So you can marinate this for just 2 hours if you want, but you can also marinate it about overnight. Now, I wouldn't go 24 hours. That could be a little bit too long. Chicken can actually start slowly getting too much marinating time. It will kind of make it a little bit mealy. So you can go up to 8 hours, then that's fine. And that's probably what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna stick it in the fridge, then we're gonna come back. We're gonna barbecue up some chicken. We're gonna make an amazing salsa. Did I even mention that? Yeah, this isn't just chicken. A salsa is gonna go with it, almost like a salad. It's gonna be good. The chicken is marinating. It's just about done and we're gonna barbecue it. Doesn't that just sound nice to be at the time of year where we can say we're gonna go barbecue it and it just feels right? So we're gonna make a quick salsa to go with it. It's kind of like a salad, side dish, salsa. It's just delicious. It's a variation of something my family has always made, and I think a lot of you will recognize a lot of the components. So to start, I'm gonna put in, I rinsed, drained a can of black beans. So sometimes I use the liquid, sometimes I don't. In this case, it would kind of make it muddled and muddy and kind of be too much liquid. So we just want the good black beans. Then some corn. It was frozen and then thawed. Now this is my home frozen corn. I have a video on that. You can totally check it out. We freeze corn every year. Most delicious. What I like about frozen corn here is you don't have to cook it. It's been blanched, it's been cooled, so it's like tender, but still has just like that full-on corn flavor. It's sweet, so good. To that, I'm also gonna add 1 can of fire-roasted tomatoes. The fire-roasted is important here. Why? Because they have so much more flavor. So do you see those little black specks? That's the fire-roasted deliciousness from some of the tomatoes. You want that. So much flavor. So it's like doing the work for you. That to me is the wonderful part. Now we of course need some onion with it. Not too much, but enough to just kind of, bring it out, balance it. And the thing is, you can make this a full day ahead. I like to make it at least a few hours before, just because it really then, it brings on kind of that full just flavor, but it also kind of tempers out things like the onion and tempers it together with all the flavors and helps it be a little bit more mellow and not so strong. And to me, that's kind of the point of all this, is to not just have like extremely strong flavors, but have them kind of like meld together and just be cohesive. So we're also gonna add some spices, a little bit of chipotle powder. So I use this in our dry brine. I'm gonna use it again in the salsa. It adds that smoky, slight spice. It's good. Then we're gonna add a little bit of pickled jalapeno, and I like some of the juice with it. So again, this is, for the spice, for the flavor, but it kind of, that pickledness, that brininess, so when you make salsa, maybe you don't know this, but when you can salsa, you always do it with a little bit of vinegar because you need to balance all that out. So that brine does it for you. We're gonna add a little bit of salt. Look at that. What I love about this is you get the fresh, you get the summery effects that you want. Want some more lime zest? Lime zest, citrus zest is something I always use, especially since we're gonna use some lime juice here. you want some of the zest too. Why waste it? It has all those essential oils. It has all that flavor. And I always hold my microplane or my grater upside down, just because then you really are able to catch all of it. You don't have to worry about it going everywhere. And you can just pound it in there, it's nice. I also have the lime we zested yesterday. Did I even say? This is the next morning. I have been marinating that chicken overnight, dry brining it, and now we're just gonna pull everything together. So I'm gonna put the lime juice right on there. Now, don't worry, if you don't have a juicer for each color, lime, lemon, orange, that's okay. You can use the lemon one or any one you have. I'm a collector at heart, so when I have one thing, I have them all. So we have the lime juice now on there. So this is really the acidity. It's also gonna kind of break down some of the onion. It's just, it smells so good. It balances it out. Final thing, cilantro. Now, if you don't like cilantro, I'm sorry. You can do, there's really not a perfect sub. You could do, of course, a parsley, but it won't have the flavor that a cilantro will. So I would say just leave it out. Don't mind getting some of those stems in there. They have flavor too. Just make sure to chop them. And I don't mind a rough chop here. Cilantro is pretty thin. It's pretty easy to work in. Look at that. What I love about this is you eat with your eyes first. We all know that. But look at the fresh colors. So when you're grilling, when you're outside, when you're enjoying summer, this is what I want to enjoy. And this is how simple it is. So we're gonna stir this, and then I'm just gonna place this in the fridge, and it's just gonna kind of marinate on its own while we barbecue the chicken. So I'm gonna grab the chicken, you're gonna meet me outside, we're gonna barbecue. That's the best part. So I've been heating the grill up for about 20 to 30 minutes because I wanna make sure it's hot. You wanna get a good sear going. So before I put my chicken on, I brought it out. I'm gonna put a drizzle of olive oil right over the top. I want that skin to really have the olive oil on it because that's what's gonna help brown it. It's gonna help it also not stick to the grill, which is important, and just really give it that good kind of crust, that good shine that you want. So I'm gonna put this on first, skin side down, because I want that skin to really get the color, but then we're gonna have to flip it so it doesn't burn that side. So we're gonna start it skin side down, right on direct heat, right on that medium-high heat as we can get it, and give a good sear, and then we'll flip it. It smells good outside, it's a breezy day, it's a good day. It's a good day to grill. Yeah. So I've had this going about 10, 12 minutes, and you can just see now that beautiful color. Look at that. So I don't wanna overcook it now with the meat directly on the flame. So we're turning it, and since we spatchcocked it, it's gonna kind of protect it from all the direct heat, and it's gonna be able to continue to cook it almost like an oven would, but still give you that great barbecue flavor. That's why a spatchcock is the best way to me to grill, to cook a chicken. It's so quick, it's so easy. So I'm gonna close the lid again. Look at that color, it looks so good. We're gonna let it continue now to cook fully through. We'll check the temperature, we'll pull it off. We will have a delicious meal. So the important thing with chicken is always making sure you get the right temperature. So always check the temperature. And I've checked it in multiple places. You want the thickest part to make sure you're getting that right temperature. Chicken, don't have something unsafe. That spoils the barbecue. So I have a cleaned now pan, not the one that I had the raw chicken on. And we're just gonna put it right over. You know what I love? You get that crispy top. What I also love is it's beautiful color underneath it. Look at that beautiful color. So you have flavor all over. So we're gonna take it back inside. We're gonna get it ready. We're gonna have it with salsa. It's a barbecue, you're invited, let's go have it. So we've pulled it off the grill. I cut it in just kind of quarters, kind of whatever way you wanna serve chicken. You know, it has the legs and thighs with it, the breast with the wing. You could cut it up even more if you wanted to. Whatever you want. Put some salsa with it so it just looks colorful. You can kind of serve it however you want. That's what I love about this chicken. It has that delicious, you can just smell the freshness from it. And seriously, okay, no, obviously I don't usually just cut off the meat perfectly nicely for everyone, but I wanna be able to taste it for you. I should use my plate. I don't want to. Guys, oh my goodness, wow. Fireworks are going off. It's like the 4th of July in my mouth. What I love is, once you dry brine a chicken, this is a chicken. Once you dry brine a chicken like this, you're never gonna go back. I do this for Thanksgiving with turkeys. I do this during the year with chickens because you get the most deliciously moist, perfectly seasoned bird you will ever get. And it makes such a difference. Chicken brining like this goes so quick. You can do it in a few hours, overnight, whatever works for you. but we're getting all those Southwest flavors in there. When you mix them with that delicious salsa, you get the fresh pops of the sweet corn, the tomatoes that are fire roasted, cilantro and lime. I am just getting so many wonderful flavors. Such good chicken, you guys. I hope you see how exciting and fun this is, because that's the point. I hope you want to do it too. So as always, I hope you share this video around. Yes, it helps me, but it helps so many people see how fun, easy, and quick good food can be to make at home. And that is the point. Share it with friends, share the love, share the joy. That's the point. As always, check my website, wiseguide.com, for this recipe. So many other recipes. Keep checking back, and as always, be kind, love others, share some good food, because this is worth sharing, believe me, or you're gonna want to eat it all.